Hi YouTube and welcome to Digital Tech. Today let's have a look at Huben 2 by MOBAPAD. Since I tried DualSense for the first time many years ago, I was looking for a controller with same level of precise vibration and haptics. But unfortunately, there's basically none on the market even many years later. Everyone uses standard asymmetrical double rumble motors. It's just an industry standard. But once in a blue moon, we as the customers have something special. For me, this special is MOBAPAD Huben 2 with HD rumble-like ALPS vibration. And today I have not one, but two different colors in my review. First of all, let's check the box. It's compatible with Windows 10 and 11, Switch, Android and iOS. Switch 1 and 2 by the way. Also here's some info on the box. It has 6-axis gyro, 10 OMRON mechanical buttons, capacitive joysticks, multifunction setting button, which is basically a turbo button, trigger switch, which means trigger stops, 4 programmable rear buttons, compatible with charging dock, but I don't have one, and anti-slip rubberized grips. And yes, I'm gonna state it right from the beginning, these grips are rubberized, because I've seen some reviewers said that these grips are plastic, but they are in fact rubberized. If you look closer and you try to press on it, you can see it doesn't behave like plastic. It's just a very dense rubber. This controller was sent to me for review, but this one I've bought myself on Taobao on release date. However, opinions in this review are gonna be 100% my own. I haven't been paid to say or not to say anything, and MOBAPAD doesn't get an early preview, and they'll watch this video at the same time as you will. First of all, let's begin with the price, and the MOBAPAD Huben 2 cost $80, and it doesn't include a charging dock. Now let's see what's in the box. The first thing you see in the box is a case, and the only difference between white and black color is the color of the case. It's white for a white version and black for black version. Let's open white first. The case has a hard shell and it's very sturdy, and it also has good attention to details, and it's covered with fake leather. When you open the box, you see the controller itself, and under the controller you see extra D-pad and the dongle. And here is my first little gripe. When you open the black case, you see the black controller inside, but the dongle is still exactly the same. And during preparation for this review, I had to put a tape on the white one, because otherwise I have no clue which one is from white and which one is from black. So my little suggestion for MOBAPAD, next time when you make a controller, make the dongle in the same color as the controller. On the black version you have a black D-pad, same goes to charging cables. They are black on both versions. But I have to say I really like this strap which holds the cable inside. And here's the cable, USB-A to USB-C, and it's braided and even powered. To be honest, I'm not really a big fan of these things on the cables, but whatever. Also in the box you have a quality control card. This paper is for warranty. Also, as I've said in my previous video, I'm not a huge fan of this kind of manuals, but at least this one is not that big.
That's what she said.
Hey! And you also have all the information needed in this manual. Only 3.6% of viewers are subscribed to my channel. Let's up this number to 10%. If you like my content, please consider to subscribe. And if at any point in the future you stop liking what I'm doing, you can always unsubscribe. Thank you. It's been 3 months and I'm still humming the songs from Expedition 33, it's crazy. Huben 2 is not the lightest controller, it weighs 288 grams, black one weighs the same, and here's a little story for you. When I bought the white controller first, I really wanted the black version, but it wasn't available at the time. And a week later, I've got the black version as well. And for black version, I have only 2 problems. The first one is not really black, it's kinda grayish. And the second problem is this faceplate in black version is a fingerprint magnet. So I've just touched it for like 10 seconds and you already can see all the fingerprints and the sweat from my hands, even though I washed my hands before I start recording the video. So if you want your controller to look the best and cleanest, just buy the white version. There is none such problem on this controller. You can touch it however you want and you won't see any fingerprints. Maybe just a little, but white version is much better in this regard. And this is what I do after every take that I record this video. I really like black controllers, but this one is a nightmare. But if you just don't care about the fingerprints and your controller looking the best every time you pick it up, black one looks beautiful. And actually, let's talk about the materials that used in this controller. This faceplate is glossy plastic, and when I first picked it up, I thought it's a glass. When you hold it in hands, you feel like this blade is made of glass. not plastic. It has glossy ABXY buttons as well, and on the back you can see grips are rubberized. As I said in the beginning, this is a rubber. The only problem, this rubber is very hard, but it's a plus and minus at the same time, because if it's very soft, it's gonna degrade very fast. If it's very hard, it's gonna be uncomfortable to use for long playing sessions. And I must say, after using this controller for around a month, these rubber grips are indeed a little bit uncomfortable after around an hour of playing. So if you're very sensitive to this kind of rubber grips, it may not be a controller for you. Because I remember when DualSense just came out, many people were complaining about its grips, because they have little triangles, squares and circles on the back. But as for me, I was completely fine. Extra face buttons are made of plastic, same goes for D-pad. Controller feels sturdy in hands, it doesn't feel cheap at all, so when you play on this gamepad, you can feel that you hold something expensive in your hands.
That's my joke, damn it, Dwight.
The battery on Huben 2 is 1000 mAh and it will last for around 15 hours. And in my experience with this controller for around a month, this is true. One of the most innovative and interesting thing about this controller is that it has capacitive joysticks, and I'm gonna test them later in the video. But feeling wise, I must say they are a little too stiff, and if you are looking for the controller that has very light travel on the sticks, this one may be not for you. Face buttons have OMRON switches inside and they feel amazing, especially knowing that they put not the usual rubber for buttons but silicone compound. And I must say, these buttons just feel amazing. Short the travel distance, very good feel to them, and I really love these buttons. These are probably one of my favorite buttons on all of the controllers I have. Other extra 5 buttons are tactile, and regarding the placement, they are very well placed. Bumpers are very easy to press, and I must say they are maybe a little too loud. You'll hear them later in the sound test. They are easy to press at any point on the bumper, but I must say they're a little too loud and they feel a little bit hollow. Huben 2 has Hall effect triggers with trigger stops, which makes this trigger micro switch button. Triggers are dampened, but not that good, for example, as on Vader 4. But at least they don't feel cheap. And micro switch triggers feel good, but the only problem I have is that it has a little too much pre-travel. So as you can see, I try to actuate the trigger switch, but it doesn't actuate, and it only actuates around here. But I must say, during the gameplay, it's not very noticeable. Huben 2 has 4 extra buttons on the back, and they feel just okay. They're tactile and clicky. I'm not really a huge fan of these 4 buttons on any controller, including Vader 4. I always used only these 2 buttons. These 2 buttons are just for extra functions, but during the gameplay I only use these 2 buttons all the time. But it's completely fine for me because I prefer 2 buttons on back, not 4. Because for all the time I was playing with 4 buttons, I just can't get used to it. Nevertheless, I understand many people want 4 buttons on the back, and here you have it. And let's talk about probably the main reason why you want to buy Huben 2, and it's vibration. I must say, this is the closest you can get to a DualSense or Nintendo Switch vibration on PC. I really like to play Nintendo Switch games on this controller, and also the games when vibration needs to be more precise. For example, when I was playing Space Marine 2, every time your character step on the ground, you can feel a little shake. And it's not like a shake, it's like a pulse. So if you want something close to DualSense or Nintendo Switch HD Rumble, this is your choice. There's just no such controller on the market with this quality and ALPS vibration motors. Now let's talk about extra features, and the first one is that D-pad is removable. And it has a little notch on the top, so you can always place it in the right way. Also, the faceplate is removable too, and it's magnetic. And the sticks are removable as well as stick caps. And when I first seen this stick cap, I was immediately like, oh, these are the same as on Vader 4, because they look very similar. But unfortunately, it doesn't fit. And here's how it looks without the faceplate. Here's the closer look at the stick modules. They remind me of potentiometer stick modules, but these are more flat. Also, if you use 4-way D-pad, you can remove the faceplate without removing the D-pad. For this style of D-pad, you need to remove it first. As for connectivity options, I've already said it's Windows, iOS, Android, Switch 1 and 2, and even Steam. For PC, you can use it with the dongle, wired, or with Bluetooth, and for everything else, it's just Bluetooth. And unfortunately, I don't have a Steam Deck to test it with the dongle. Another little gripe of mine is that this controller doesn't have turbo on back buttons, but at least it has macros. As for Kontrol Freeks, use PS4 style Kontrol Freeks. They fit just perfectly. Polling rate shows 997 Hz, great stability and low jitter. Stick analyzer shows great results as well, 8000 data points with 5500 resolution, which is even more than MOBAPAD stated in their promotional materials. Exceptional results. I didn't say it during D-pad section, but the D-pad on Huben 2 is very good even for fighting games, which I'll show you later. But triggers have too much pre-travel in both full range and micro switch mode. I've contacted MOBAPAD to ask if they will fix this in the future in their software, but they said it's a physical problem, so it won't be changed in the future. There is no stick snapback at all. Circularity test shows 0% error. And by the way, I've done all the tests on both black and white controller, results are exactly the same. Button latency is very good as well. Next, let's move to aim laps. And the first attempt without any warm-up gave me 29k points. As I said before, these joysticks feel a little too stiff. On the second try, I adapted and got 34k. Then I tried black version and got 32k. Next try is 32k again. And the last try I got 31k. I must say these sticks feel nice, but they are not too smooth in the initial phase of the movement. But if you like stiffer sticks, these ones are for you. Wreckfest was okay to play, but I can imagine for more precise games such as Trackmania or Rocket League, it might be a problem. These triggers are not the best for driving games in my opinion. Street Fighter V was a breeze on both versions of Huben 2, tactile, precise and responsive. I can recommend it for fighting games easily. And also I've tried two platformers, Haku the Robot and Momodora Monolith's Farewell, and D-pad felt great in both games. Conclusion time! I must say this controller surprised me in many ways. First of all, I really like the HD Rumble vibration, especially when you play Nintendo Switch games. Also, the build quality is very nice and the controller feels premium in your hands. Face buttons feels amazing, D-pad is quite good even for fighting games, and triggers are just okay. What I didn't really like is clicky bumpers, but it's just personal preference. And the sticks, they were too stiff for my liking, especially on white version for some reason. So I don't know why it is and which one you will get if you buy this controller, but I guess it is what it is. All in all, I really like this controller, because usually when I don't like the controller, I just use it for a little while and just send it back if I don't like it. But for this exact controller, the white version, which I bought with my own money, I've decided to have it because I really like the face buttons, vibration and the look. Design-wise, this controller is simply stunning. Would I recommend this controller for purchase? If you want HD Rumble-like vibration, 100%. But if you don't like this kind of vibration, it may be even annoying for you, so keep that in mind. As for me, I really like this controller and it's gonna stay in my collection for a long time. And if you want to watch my most recent reviews, which are GameSir Nova 2 Lite and Mahjong Blitz 2 Dynasty Warriors Edition, these two videos are now on the screen. Adios.